Every holiday season, jokes about airing your grievances and feats of strength pop up, but unless you've seen a certain episode of Seinfeld, you probably have no idea what's going on. Well, December 23rd is Festivus, the festival for the rest of us. And what originally started as a family in-joke has hopped from a beloved sitcom to a form of consumer rebellion. Festivus is all about family and friends, sometimes too much about them. Here's the short version of how Festivus came to be. You can read our complete oral history of it here. The O'Keefe Festivus had symbols and props which weren't in the Seinfeld version of the holiday. For example, one of the main symbols of the holiday was a clock and a bag, and sometimes a clock in a bag. The significance of the bag and the clock was unknown. Apparently, when the O'Keefe siblings would ask about the meaning, Daniel O'Keefe Sr. would simply reply, "That's not for you to know." How mysterious. There were no costumes for Festivus, however. Hats were often worn. Some of the favorites were a Viking helmet, with Play-Doh horns affixed, a brimless Cub Scout cap, including tinfoil adornments, or a pointy dunce cap. These were typical accoutrements manufactured by a gang of creative youths. In contrast to dominant Christmas ideology, Festivus promotes a grand narrative of meaningful nothingness, wherein Festivus celebration is presented a viable means of circumventing the oppressiveness of Christmas, that is meaningful, through erasing the higher goals and conventions of Christmas, that is nothingness.
Mikkonen doesn't say outright that Festivus is intentionally a holiday about nothing, but the spirit is there. Indeed, Festivus has been a form of protest for years. An atheist protested nativity scenes on display in Florida by successfully going to court for the right to build a Festivus pole out of beer cans next to a nativity scene. In 2015, a gay man created a Pride Festivus pole for the same reason. He topped it with a disco ball. That, in a nutshell, is Festivus. It's a holiday without the holiday, but the irony is, stripping away the presence and religious belief of the winter solstice seems to really make people happy. The ultimate point of Festivus is that perhaps we don't need an excuse to come together, or if we do, any excuse will do. Just make sure to get your donations into the Human Fund before you go.